Joining us now is House Oversight Chairman James Comer. Welcome, Mr. Chairman. Where does the impeachment inquiry stand? What witnesses are left for you to examine?
Well, right now we want to hear from Joe Biden, because what we've heard is 3 former business associates have all testified under oath that Joe Biden was a central figure in the family's influence peddling schemes. Trey, what we have proven, and the Democrats will not dispute, nor will the media dispute, is the fact that the Biden family was influence peddling. The Biden family did not have a single legitimate business. The Biden family did not provide one single hour of work for the tens of millions of dollars they received from our enemies around the world. That is influence peddling 101. I will go further. The Biden family didn't pay a penny of taxes on the $28 million they received from our adversaries around the world. But the problem that Joe Biden has is 3 business associates have testified that Joe Biden was the central figure in their influence peddling schemes. Now, what the Democrats were saying in that hearing, oh, well, go ahead and impeach, they want an impeachment, Trey, because they know the Senate's not going to do anything. I want to hold the Biden family accountable, and I believe the best way to hold the Biden family accountable is through criminal referrals. We've proven many crimes were committed. The Democrats aren't disputing that the president's son and brother committed crimes. What they're disputing is that Joe Biden was involved in the schemes. That's why we've given Joe Biden the opportunity to come before the committee to explain himself.
President Biden sat down for an interview with Special Counsel Rob Hur that did not turn out all that well for him. Do you plan on inviting him to sit down for a transcribed interview? Do you want to send questions to him? Do you want to send questions to his lawyer? How do you propose to get answers from him?
Well, we're going to send him some questions. We're definitely going to do that. But we're going to give him an opportunity. If he wants to come in front of the House Oversight Committee, he has an open invitation, but he better be doing it quickly. If he wants to come sit down for a transcribed interview, I will bring the oversight staff to the White House, and we will conduct that transcribed interview. It's his choice. But if he does not come forward and answer himself, then we're going to have to believe the testimony of Bobulinski, Galanis, and Archer, who all testified that Joe Biden was a central figure. Joe Biden met with all these people. Joe Biden's lied dozens of times about his knowledge of, participation in, and benefit from his family's influence peddling schemes. And that's not going to play well for Joe Biden moving forward when we enter the real accountability phase of this investigation.
Chairman, you mentioned criminal referrals. Those referrals would be to a DOJ that is run by Merrick Garland, put in place by Joe Biden. Do you expect those criminal referrals to be in addition to impeachment articles or in lieu of impeachment articles?
Well, that's a decision that leadership's going to have to make. But again, you know, the fact that the Senate isn't going to take impeachment seriously at all, just like they've not taken the Merrick Garland impeachment seriously, I think is evidence that if we want to hold them accountable, we're going to have to focus on the Department of Justice. And if the Merrick Garland Department of Justice will not hold this family accountable, then maybe if the Trump wins president, then a Trey Gowdy Department of Justice can hold this family accountable for the wrongdoing. That's one of my hopes there, Trey.
Chairman, my wife cannot live on the salary that the Attorney General makes, but thank you for saying that. I love being a prosecutor, but I also love working for Fox because I get to talk to you. Thank you for spending some time with us on a Sunday night. All the best to you and your beloved state of Kentucky.
Thank you, Trey.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.